All right, welcome back to Wmma Now with your host Chuck Stevenson, coming at you tonight with a fight review. So we're going to Dublin, Ireland for Bellator 275. We're going to the Strawweight division. Danni McCormack coming in at 5-0, taking on Stephanie Paige coming in at 5-3. This is going to be an interesting fight. It was Paige's debut at Strawweight. She had previously fought at Flyweight. And McCormack came in as a big favorite. So let's get into the fight here. First round, McCormack came forward with a 1-2, and then Paige dropped her. Straight dropped her with a pair of right hands. Now, McCormack recovered, but Paige stepped in and absolutely floored McCormack with another right hand. McCormack stood, recovered again, but Paige was on her. She lashed around her waist with her left hand. I believe she might have caught one of her arms and trapped it, and started landing punches from behind. Now, McCormack, against the cage, was able to turn and escape, but she was still wobbly on her feet. McCormack was swinging that air, and honestly, her guard was open for more Paige right hands that landed. At that point, Paige had her up against the cage and stunned her again. There was another clinch, and McCormack basically hung on, or was trying to hang on, but Paige was able to separate again. From there, Paige just absolutely buckled her with two more right hands. Backed McCormack up to the cage, or McCormack backed up to the cage again, and was still eating punches. So McCormack kind of crossed halfway across the cage there, and Paige just followed her up and just kept pouring on the punches. Just followed her on and just kept pouring on the punches. And at that point, the referee, Mark Goddard, he saw enough. The official time was 1 minute and 40 seconds for your winner via TKO, Stephanie Paige. This was an absolutely fast fight. 1 minute and 40 seconds. I did not expect this fight to end that fast at all. Honestly, I had McCormack winning via her wrestling. I saw it most likely going to decision. But Paige just absolutely outgunned her on the feet and never gave McCormack a chance to even use her wrestling. McCormack, she was hurt after the first right hand landed. It dropped, or the first two right hands, I should say, dropped her. Kind of like a flash knockdown. But the second one, when she fell, started to get up, and Paige followed her and floored her with that big right hand. After that, McCormack never had a chance to recover. So she was on, the old-fashioned phrase was Queer Street from the beginning. Basically, from within the first, 10, 15 seconds, because Paige knocked her down within the first 10 seconds. I'm not sure what time the second punch occurred at, but it was very early. One thing I think it's safe to say is that Stephanie Paige, her power is definitely a bigger threat at strawweight than it was at flyweight. Because I look at her record, and she had lost her previous two fights by decision. Won the fight before that, won the three before that by decision. Now, she did have one finish via TKO or TKO. It looks like a knockout back in 2015, and that was at bantamweight. So since then, she fought at bantamweight and then fought at flyweight. Didn't have any finishes, and now she drops down to strawweight and just absolutely demolished Danni McCormack on the feet. So Paige, she could be a threat on the feet at strawweight given the right matchups. Now, originally, I had thought that this fight should have been a flyweight, and that was because after Valerie Loreda's last fight, McCormack had called her out and said she'd move up to flyweight to fight her. So I was like, oh, so they're probably going to give her a flyweight fight and try to work that fight up. It made sense to me. And then they announced that McCormack was fighting Paige, and I'm like, oh, well, Paige is a flyweight, so they're going to be fighting a flyweight, right? And then it wasn't at flyweight, it was at strawweight. And I was like, why is this fight happening at strawweight? But I'll be honest, probably a good thing for McCormack that it wasn't at flyweight. because this gives her a chance to go back and recover, keep working on things. And had it happened at flyweight, it could have been even worse. I mean, I think Paige has more power at strawweight than flyweight, but she might have been able to really hurt her at flyweight. So we'll have to. So for now, I think McCormack is going to put flyweight on the back burner. Let's talk about things to work on. For Paige, I don't have anything for her. She performed absolutely flawlessly in this fight. For someone I was not high on coming into this fight, she really impressed. For Nealon, obviously, she needs to work on her overall striking defense. She needs to keep her guard up, needs to keep her chin down, and needs to move her head. Because her guard was down for most of the fight, her chin was up, and she had no head movement. So those three things all fall into striking defense, and those are the things that she needs to work on. Now for fights to make, I'm not going to lie, I have no idea, no clue. Because these are two fighters that, they're basically Bellator Euro fighters. Like, Bellator practically has two divisions right now. They have Bellator North America and they have Bellator Europe. Because a lot of the fighters that fight on their European cards seem to not make their way over to the US cards. And particularly at strawweight, they don't really have anything for these two. So obviously they're just going to stay in Europe, and Bellator is going to call them back to fight more European, like, regional level fighters. So I have no idea who they're going to find for each of these two next. Anyway, those are my thoughts on this fight. Danni McCormack versus Stephanie Paige. Paige coming away with the win via TKO at minute 40 seconds of the first round. The fight is available on YouTube. I will try to link it in the description and a pinned comment down below. Watch the fight if you haven't yet, and let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below. If you liked the video, please give it a like, share it as well, spread the word, and while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to Wmma Scene Now, the best, most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.